Hi, Alpha Recaps here. Today we are explaining an Indonesian comedy drama film Too Handsome to Handle. It's the story of Moss family. The Moss family has been good looking for several generations. They are praised because of their beauty, which makes them a lot of money. The eldest son, Okis, is an internet influencer. He has millions of followers because of his looks, and is also considered a love guru who helps men impress their crushes. The father, Packer, dated more than 1,200 girls before meeting their mother. Meanwhile, the mother can also be considered handsome because of her masculine features. Colin is the youngest son and the most attractive of them all. The family has gotten used to their life as people with good looks, except for Colin, who struggles to live normally because of his beauty. He often wishes he was only mildly attractive, so that he could go out without being chased by a crowd of women. Every time girls go crazy, pass out, pull their hair, and often get nosebleeds on getting a look at his attractive face. As a result, he has never had genuine interaction with a girl. He avoids going out in public as much as possible and has been homeschooled till now. Colin has no friends except his pet fish. He often plays cards with it and talks to it out loud. His family watches him through a camera in worry. They want him to have a normal teenage life and try their best to help him. Okis frequently shows him pictures of girls, trying to hook him up with someone. However, Colin says that his type in girls is someone who doesn't like him. He wants to be seen as a person and not as a face. When nothing works to motivate Colin to go out, the family takes it a step further. They plan to fake financial problems so he forced to go to a school. One night when Colin wakes up to drink water, his parents made a drama about their financial conditions. They dramatically declare that they will only eat scrambled eggs for breakfast until they earn enough money for Colin's homeschooling. He feels guilt to be causing his parents so much trouble. Next morning, he declares that he will be going to school for the upcoming semester. The family is overjoyed until he tells that he will only go to an all-boys school. Although they would have preferred him to be able to talk to girls, they are happy to take one step at a time. A few days later is Colin's first day at school. Okis drops him off on his bike, but Colin doesn't take his helmet off. He plans to wear it the entire day to hide the fact he is handsome. However, the plan backfires when the helmet grabs more attention than he intended to. Colin quietly sits down in the last seat but is called out by the class bully CD and his minions. When the teacher enters the classroom, she too is surprised to see a guy with a helmet. She ordered him to take it off. Not willing, Colin has no way but to oblige. He slowly takes off the helmet, revealing his face. In the following scene, the teacher is being loaded into an ambulance. It turns out that she started to nosebleed and hyperventilate because of Colin's beauty. The other kids complain to the principal that the new student is too handsome to handle. Colin runs through the hallway to go back home but is tripped by one of the bullies. They bring him to the school storeroom and introduce themselves like they are Power Rangers. They are called the Tig Attack, a group of 3 bullies led by CD, the principal's son. After introduction, they reveal that they need Colin's help to ask a girl out for prom. The group has been in the senior year of school for the past 3 years. They refuse to graduate until CD goes to the prom with the most beautiful girl of the BBM school, Amanda. However, she only accepts requests from handsome men, so the group wants Colin to make it work for them. They assign an innocent guy, Kibo, to help Colin and lead the way. Kibo has also been a victim of their pranks in the past and is obliged to do what the bullies say. Afterward, Colin goes to the principal's office with Kibo to make an official complaint about bullies. Kibo knows what the outcome will be, but he still accompanies Colin. The principal is troubled by his son refusing to graduate. Since Colin's beauty gives him a chance to take Amanda to the prom, the principal wants them to do whatever the bullies say. That evening, Colin and Kibo decide to complete the task the next day and get rid of the responsibility. Kibo is the first person who has shown kindness to Colin, unrelated to his beauty. Although the day didn't go as planned, he is happy to have gained a friend. The next morning, they go to the BBM school where the girls smell the presence of the boys. They are strict about not allowing ugly boys to enter the school premises. When they notice Colin wearing a helmet, the entire school asks him to take it off. In a dramatic way, Colin takes the helmet off among the girls. Only a few hours later, the news makes it to the television. Clips of girls crying, bleeding through their noses, getting possessed, and jumping around are being shared all around social media. Colin starts being known as the too handsome to handle guy. The hottest student of the BBM school and model named Amanda also hears the news and is instantly smitten by Colin. He is the first guy who matches in beauty and status with her. She immediately makes it her mission to impress him. When the news becomes huge, a crowd of girls gathers in front of the Moss residence. The family starts charging them money for a house tour. Colin, who is hiding in the streets, sees his family on the news. He feels betrayed and used by his own people, and, when they call him, he refuses to come home and feels even sadder when his pet fish is mishandled and killed by the tourists. He is now on the roof of a building hiding from the maniacs chasing him in the streets. Suddenly, a girl appears behind him and inquires if he is going to jump off the roof. Colin looks at her in shock because she looks normal on seeing him. The girl ignored him and simply walks away. Colin is so nervous that he can hardly speak. The encounter makes his day a lot better. A while later, he calls Kibo, who picks him up and invites him to his home. There his grandmother welcomes Colin to stay for as long as he wants. On walking into Kibo's room, he sees two rare collectible playing cards and is amazed by them. They came to know that they share several common interests, just like playing card collection. The following day, they visit the all-girls school to look for the girl from yesterday. While they are at it, they also meet Amanda and give her the files of the proposal sent by CD. Amanda pretends to be unimpressed by Colin's beauty, but after he leaves, her nose bleeds. Colin sees his crush on the stairs, but the other girls surrounding him do not allow him to meet her. For the next few days, Kibo and Colin do everything together and become best friends. One afternoon, Kibo takes Colin to play, where he frequently goes to meet his crush, Rare. After the match, Colin notices the girl from the roof working at a shop nearby. He cannot help but stare at her. Just then, Kibo arrives and introduces Rare to him. Colin discovers that she is also Kibo's crush, who he was talking about earlier. The two seem to be close, which makes Colin jealous. He can hardly fall asleep that night because of the new feeling. Suddenly, he remembers Okis is a love guru and fixes a meeting with him. When they meet the following morning, Okis breaks down crying tears of happiness. He had been waiting for the day to give his brother advice on girls. Colin has forgiven his family for selling him out to his fans, because if that had not happened, he would have never met Rare. The brothers then go shopping for groceries while Okis lists out the points of things Colin should do to impress his crush. As Colin follows Okis' suggestions, he registers he is far from knowing Rare like Kibo knows her, but he still doesn't want to give up on his first love. One afternoon, Amanda comes to the boys' school and hands Colin an invitation for her birthday. Moreover, she also gives him a phone as a gift. Later that day, Kibo, Colin, and Rare go to karaoke. Eventually, Rare and Colin get to sing together. While Colin is excited to duet with her, Rare only focuses on Kibo. He soon notices that she also likes Kibo back. The revelation makes his heart crumple in jealousy. So, when Kibo is not around, he bluntly asks her if she has a crush on him. At first, Rare denies it, but when Colin lies about Kibo being in love with Amanda, her face drops. Her expression is enough to confirm her feelings. After returning home, Colin calls Amanda and asks her for a favor. She happily agrees to do anything he says. The next day, several people gather at the venue to celebrate her birthday. When Colin and Kibo arrive, Amanda welcomes them. Amazingly enough, she seems to be more interested in Kibo than in Colin. She even pulls him aside to talk to him in private. At the same time, Rare arrives at the party and sees Amanda kissing Kibo. Heartbroken, she runs outside. Taking advantage of her sad feelings, Colin confesses his feelings for her. Rare thanks him but responded that she never saw him as someone more than a friend. Even after conspiring against his only best friend, Colin left empty-handed. The group of bullies also see Amanda kissing Kibo and are enraged with jealousy and anger. They beat Kibo up for it while Colin watches from nearby, too scared to interfere. Later, he brings Kibo home and dresses his wounds alongside his grandmother. Only after seeing him in pain, Colin realizes that he has made a blunder. The next day, Kibo gives him a legendary card from his card collection that Colin had been wanting for a long time. Guilt-ridden, Colin confesses to everything wrong he has done till now. Kibo is shocked and hurt by the betrayal. He claims that he would have left Rare if he knew Colin liked her too. It hurts Colin even more. At last, Kibo orders him to get out of the house immediately. Ashamed, Colin simply leaves. He finally returns home after a month. His family is overjoyed, but he was still sad. He locks himself in his room and doesn't talk to anyone. But most of all, he misses his best friend. They saw each other at times but never share anything more than a glance. At home, Colin's mother is worried about his well-being. She approaches him one night and gives him his pet fish that never died. She also tells him that he can go back to being homeschooled if he likes to. The family only wants him to be happy and is ready to do anything for it. Colin, touched by her words, realizes that he has people in his life who are rooting for his success, so he decided to make things right between him and Kibo. The next morning, he runs to Rare and tells her everything. Following that, he goes to Kibo and tries to apologize. Although Kibo dismisses him at first, when asked about Rare, he starts to describe how much he loves her. Colin shows him that Rare was listening to him on the phone the entire time. That way, he mends their relationship and goes back to being both their friend. A few days later, they all go to prom together. Kibo's date is Rare while Colin's date is Amanda. As expected, Colin and Amanda win the title of prom king and queen. Colin hears a girl comment that he is only mildly handsome and is instantly drawn to her, indicating the start of a new relationship.